Planets. Observer 4 probe findings explained. That's right, we've been blessed with evidence detailing extraterrestrial life, and I'm going to be putting this info into context so your human brain can more easily understand it. So let's get into it. Planets is an analog horror detailing the 48-year expedition of the Observer 4 space probe, as well as the evidence of extraterrestrial life and strange astrological phenomena found during the journey. The Observer 4 was launched in 2038 and recovered in 2086, and the data inside the probe was shocking to say the least. I know what you're thinking, how is it analog horror if it takes place in the future? And the answer is shut the fuck up. We know about these planets because of one YouTube channel run by a fish by the name of Black Dragonfish. I'll be linking to their findings below. At first, all seems routine for the Observer 4 as it approaches a neighboring solar system, snapping some candid pics of some asteroids as it passes. It examines some normal enough seeming planets and their moons, but after a moment the mood seems to slowly but surely darken, foreshadowing that something might not be quite right with the Observer 4. One of the first indications that the Observer 4 probe is acting strangely is when it approaches the planet Horus. Horus is noted as an inhospitable ice planet that has a quote-unquote face that is used for experiments. My question is, how would humans be able to determine that Horus is used for experiments if they literally just discovered it this moment using this probe? Did you guess? Unless I'm missing something, it seems like someone or something else is adding information that it would be impossible for humanity to know based on its current circumstances. The next planet that Observer 4 comes across is Helios. Helios is unique as its moons are alive. I'm not sure if this means the moons themselves are alive or they just contain biological ecosystems. The language feels intentionally vague. There's something missing here. So if this guy is anything like me, he doesn't know either. Tartarus, named for the Greek mythology's version of hell, is the most unique of the moons as it is the most organic in nature, with more biodiversity than the food in the back of the fridge that no one's quite sure what it used to be. The probe describes it as a wandering, quietly weeping gateway. Can't shake the feeling that it's in some way related to its name. Keeping up with the hell naming scheme, the next planet the observer approaches is Baphomet, named for goat f***er over here. The planet is as black as coal and a terrifying nightmare, as opposed to a not terrifying nightmare. The next planet, Anuket, named for the Nile goddess, is described as a water world. Just like Earth, its oceans are home to yet undiscovered, unimaginable horrors. It has many moons, but none have been photographed. I'm not sure if they just couldn't find it, or the observer just got lazy, but all I know is what's in this space probe that I stole, so we're moving on. The most significant and concerning media that the probe contains is about the world of Hathor. Hathor, home, a second Earth. Life. Isn't it beautiful?
Interloper, we're watching.
Sathan, moon of Hathor.
You found new life. Isn't this what you wanted?
May 31st, 2075. Observer 4 loses connection. October 24th, 2075. Connection is regained. February 4th, 2086. Observer approaches Earth. Recovered by yours truly. If you don't know much about space travel, I can't blame you because your species mostly uses its technology to spike dopamine. Mandatory species sensitivity training says you can't blame people for what they're born into, but any idiot can see this is not regular space probe protocol. This craft lost connection with Earth, then regained connection already en route back to the human homeworld. The thing is, humans wouldn't be able to reprogram it to come back if they lost connections with the probe. We know that the probe doesn't return to Earth as a failsafe for lost connections because it didn't do so when it lost connection previously. That means that something else must have intercepted it, reprogrammed it, and tampered with its data, leaving messages. Seemingly threatening warning messages. With the flashing word of home on Hathor and the fact that this was the last world it visited before it lost connection and was rerouted back to Earth, it seems like whatever messed with your little probe here was native to Hathor. They also seem to know a bit about you guys, as they're really layering in the satanic imagery and names because they know it freaks y'all out. Those threats sound like they are coming from someone who feels that they are backed in a corner. Now to a human brain, that might sound like you have the upper hand, and you might, but nothing bites harder, faster, and with less abandon than a snarling dog backed into a corner. My advice, find another exoplanet. They obviously do not want to be friends with benefits, and after the millionth open an R, you just gotta take the L. Anyways, if you like this video and you wanted me to come back and take a look at more of the Black Dragonfish's findings, to make sure, like, some comment, all notifications enabled, so I know people want more space in the videos. Okay, bye.